Meanwhile, on Capitol Hill, Republican lawmakers reacted negatively to a White House budget memo outlining what will be in the president's spending plan when he submits it early next month. One big change from last year, the president won't propose altering the way Social Security cost of living adjustments are calculated. That controversial change would have slowed the growth of benefits, reducing the federal debt. John Harwood joins us now from Washington with more on the sudden change from President Obama. John, tell us more about this latest proposal and why pick this particular battle.
Well, Republicans were not surprised by this, Tyler. And the reason the president made this choice in his budget is that they've basically abandoned, both parties have, the prospect of a grand bargain. And when the president last year in his budget put out there the idea of limiting these cost of living adjustments to Social Security, that was partly to lure Republicans into talks on a bigger deal that would include some tax increases. Republicans said no to the tax increases. Now, Democrats are saying some of the spending cuts that you wanted, we're not going to do either. Now, the White House is saying that this is still on the table if Republicans want to resume those negotiations, but nobody expects it because of the deal that Paul Ryan and Patty Murray struck. We're in calm waters now on the budget. Everybody's gearing up to campaign.
And the spending plan presumably is going to hew, on the administration's part, more closely to traditional Democratic values, right?
Absolutely. And both parties have agreed spending will be a little bit higher than was called for before under the terms of the sequester cuts. They've relieved it both for defense and for non-defense, to be offset by some longer-term cuts. But yes, we are out of the phase in which both parties are concentrating so heavily on austerity. This is why Republicans didn't, in the end, put up much of a fight on raising the debt ceiling last week.
And is there going to be some additional spending? And if so, where? And where does the money come from?
Well, the administration is going to propose spending on things like manufacturing centers, which the president's only been able to fund so far with existing monies in his approved budget. Hasn't gotten Republicans to go along, but he's going to propose some revenue increases, things that would tighten up, for example, the ways in which international corporations shift profits around to limit their U.S. taxes. They tighten up on that, raise some revenue, use those to Democratic priorities. But, of course, this budget is going to be about posturing and laying out priorities, not actually passing it, because that step would require the Republicans and Democrats to agree on a tax reform plan. That is very, very unlikely to happen.
John Harwood, thanks very much. John reporting from the Capitol tonight.